Hello and welcome back to the Hornby Magazine Workshop for our video featuring Accurascale's brand new models of the KUA nuclear flask wagons for 00 gauge. Got an exciting new addition to the Accurascale portfolio on the layout today, Mark, and can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, they were built in the late 1990s for the Ministry of Defence, the idea being that they were designed to transport spent nuclear fuel from the Royal Navy's submarine fleet, and they would be transported up to Sellafield for reprocessing there. So there's two vehicles that were built. There's only ever been two of these for the MOD, but they are surprising in their sphere of operation. They do get around. They haven't just operated on Ministry of Defence work for the Royal Navy, if you like, but they have been seen as far afield as the Far North line, up as far as Georgemouth Junction, in connection with transporting nuclear material from Dounreay, I think it is, back to Sellafield as well. So that's quite a remarkable sphere of operation.
So yes, as spheres of operation go, from Plymouth on the south coast to Georgemouth Junction in the far north, it's a pretty diverse wagon, really.
And you've got the entire fleet here in one box.
I was just going to say, you can literally buy the entire fleet of KUA nuclear flask wagons in one box from Accurascale, can't you, right now?
It's a nice prototypical short train formation. It's a hefty one. Each of these wagons is around half a kilo in weight, mainly down to the die-cast chassis and the bogie pivots as well.
Because they've used a nice combination of different materials, and they used die casting for the chassis. You've got injection moulded parts for the flask carrier area. There's also etched metal components as well. So a really nice mix of different materials being used to make these wagons.
And it's very nicely, finely done. You've got the small anchor points, which are picked out in yellow on the wagons from the sort of train ferry anchor points, if you like. There's the lifting points as well. You've got other nice small details, the handbrake wheels, the etched metal handrails. You know, they've gone to town on it in terms of the detailing. Even when you look closely at the brake pipework and equipment for the underframe as well. Which,
some fantastic really details, isn't there?
Yeah.
They weren't originally hauled by DRS traction, were they, when they were first introduced in 1998?
No, EWS was originally the haulier of choice. Class 66s would have been the prime movers. Other traction will have got a look in at times, but primarily it would be Class 66s. And when they're loaded, they usually will have escort vehicles. In EWS days, it would have been the former LMS 50-foot inspection saloons. So Bachmann do a model of that, so you could quite easily replicate that in model form in its EWS livery. They would have appeared at the top and the tail. You would also, in DRS days, had a modified form of BR Mark II, which was introduced. DRS modified a number of their original Mark IIs and have more recently done some of the air-conditioned vehicles.
And they're actually in DRS livery as well, aren't they?
They are, yes.
There has been a limited edition there in the past, hasn't there? But I think it's quite scarce to get hold of now.
Absolutely.
So, but in terms of DRS motive power, actually, if it's had DRS on the side of it, chances are that type of traction has been on the front of these wagons, hasn't it? So
absolutely.
There's the Class 20s, the 37s, 57s, 66s, 68s as well. Yeah. They've all been seen on the front of the KUAs.
They have, and you know, sometimes double heading the KUAs, other times top and tailing them. You'll have a combination of locomotive at the top, escort vehicles, and maybe a loco on the tail. Invariably, they would have two locomotives in the formation these days. Doesn't always happen. You know, if they're empty, they're not always double-headed, but usually, if the vehicles are loaded, they will have two locomotives just in case there's a problem with one of them.
Well, that sounds like a good excuse for me to buy two DRS Class 37.6s anyway. So
definitely.
That's another tick in the box for those.
Why not?
Absolutely. I think they're fantastic wagons. These, I think Accurascale's done a really nice job on them. And you can read our full review, of course, in the latest issue of Hornby Magazine. That's issue 170, which is on sale from July the 1st, where we've got our full detailed review. And as well, you probably noticed we've got a quite distinctive Class 57 on the front of this rake as well. It's 57307 Lady Penelope, which is one of the direct rail services ones, which was originally built as a Thunderbird for Virgin trains. And it carries the Cable Thieves We're Watching You logos on the side of it. Now, one of the reasons that's here is that it's also just been our sound installation project for the latest issue of the magazine as well. So in a separate video, you'll be able to see a full sound demonstration of the Class 57. And if you ever wanted to know how to fit Zimo sound into your Class 57 with a really nice speaker and to stay alive as well, there's a full feature in the latest issue as well. So DRS people will be very happy with our latest issue. Anyway, that brings us to the end of our video on the Accurascale KUAs. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.